Hello everybody, and welcome back to Nerdy Miniatures, and the continuation of our Middle-earth battle strategy game series. In today's video, we complete the Battle of Edoras armies, as we show the build of the evil side of this campaign, consisting of Wulf, General Targg, and 24 Hill Tribesmen. This video will be broken up into different phases of building. These are indicated by the timestamps, so feel free to jump around as you wish. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's not stall any longer and get on with the build. Starting today's build with the standing models of Wulf and Targg. Like the first half of this series, the main characters of Wulf and Targg will be built in two different ways. First on foot and then on horseback. First off, I want to say I found the second half of this series much easier to build. This is likely due to the experience I now have with these small scale models. Of the two, Targg on foot was the easier and quickest miniature I have built throughout this series, taking me less than 10 minutes to put together and set on his base. Although fiddly, the small parts came together rather easily. At times I rushed and tried to add extra parts before others were fully set, but I quickly realised this would only add more work for me in the long run, and tried my best to let things dry down before moving on to the next step. Despite this, I found this still took me far less time than before, as I was more confident with how the pieces came together. Despite the small scale of these figures, the detail in the models is very cool. From the holes in their capes and the furrowed angry eyebrows, it's these little details that make the character look that much better. Moving on to the horse-mounted figures, I had a fairly easy time with both the figures of Wulf and Targg. Similarly to the figures of Hammer and Halath, there are a few small details like the reins that were a little bit difficult to attach due to their small and delicate nature, but with some patience I got them attached, and in the end they turned out pretty good. On General Targg's horse-mounted figure, there is even a small helmet on the floor. This is a nice detail that adds a little extra touch. Their construction was very easy, and overall took me only about half an hour to put together. Now, moving on to the Hillsmen. The building manual that comes with this starter set only has 12 designs for these warriors, but enough pieces to make 24. So I did 12 off camera and 12 on camera for you guys to see. Each of these 12 designs is different, ranging from archers to warriors wielding spears and swords. But despite their different weapons, each one looks as ferocious as the next. Like the Rohirrim, each spruce comes with enough parts to build all 12 warriors and alternate weapons for certain models. Some give the option of opting for a torch and a shield, while others gave the option of a two-handed weapon, like a battle axe. Nonetheless, these unique touches really made the minis what they are, and it's a detail that I really enjoyed. So that brings us to the end of the building phase. I will say, building these figures takes patience, not because they are overly complex, but because of their small scale. Controlling the glue is a necessity for this build, and we tried a couple different glues out for building these figures, in hopes of having the best control. But despite this attempt, there are still a few shiny spots here and there that I'll have to work with when we come back to these guys at the painting stage. Overall, I would say the Battle of Edoras starter set is a fun build. It was definitely a labour of love, but it was worth it because I think they turned out pretty cool. This set also includes some buildings that we will construct and paint off camera, ready for when myself and Mr. Nerd start battling our armies of good and evil against each other in just a few weeks' time. So what is coming next? Next Wednesday, you'll see our first painting video, so try my hands at painting the glorious Helm Hammerhand. So, if that's something you guys would be interested in, then subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. That brings us to the end of this video. If you managed to stay to the end, thank you for sticking around, it is appreciated. If you enjoyed this build, then might I recommend subscribing to the channel so you can see how they look after being painted and see how the armies perform in battle. Down in the description below, you'll find a link to Mr. Nerd's channel, so if you enjoy MMOs, action RPGs, then please feel free to check that out. There is also a link to my channel, where I cover all things fantasy lore from Tolkien, Game of Thrones, and most recently, Age of Sigmar and The Witcher. So if that piques your interest, there is a link to that also. Anyway, that'll be it from me today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are in the world. Peace out.